10x Unlimited, how may I help you? Yes, this is Plarium. I'd like to order a 10x. One 10x for Plarium. I see here that you ordered one last week. You already need another one? Yes, we need another one. I understand, and I'm sorry, but company policy is 1 per month per customer. Just give me the 10x! Well, yelling's only gonna piss me off. Hey, wait a minute, your headset's not even plugged in. Yeah, it's just a bit. Another day, another 10x. That's what we got going on right now. Before I get into talking about the champs on the 10x, I got a couple things I want to go over. It is time for the monthly gem giveaway. So here's how we're going to do this one. Comment on this video. Let me know if you're participating in the 10x and who on the 10x list you're going for if you are participating. And leave your UM code in the comment, okay? You have to leave your UM code in the comment. I'm gonna draw the winners. I'm gonna draw 5 winners Thursday, okay? If you don't know how to get your UM code, you click on your picture up there, you go to info, you just copy this ID, and then you paste it, okay? So if you're participating in the 10x, also who you are going for if you are, and your UM code below. And if you're not participating, then, you know, then tell me you're not. But put your UM code. That's how 5 of you are getting drawn, okay? And I'm drawing Thursday. Thursday morning when I come in here to make my morning video, I'm gonna draw 5 winners, okay? The other 5 on Friday in the stream at twitch.tv/JGigs. It's gonna be a big day as far as giveaway stuff goes. Every Friday in my stream, I give away $25, a $25 gift card. On top of that, on Friday, being in the stream, 5 more of you are going to have opportunities to win your 540 gems as well, okay? So, and that'll be through various mini games we play. We have a lot of little mini games we play in the stream, and we're trying to add to them on a regular basis. So, just being present and participating is the way that 5 more of you are going to win, okay? So 5 of you from this video, 5 of you from the Twitch stream at 10 a.m. Eastern on Friday. Okay, we all good? We all good there? I guess I should say the date. Friday the 21st. Friday the 21st. So again, on top of someone winning the $25 at the end of the stream, throughout the stream, 5 of you are going to win 540 gems. Okay, that is it for the giveaway stuff. I've got a couple of new skits up. I'll card to one of them up there. Maybe the Stuff No Raid Players Say skit is the one I'll card to up there, but there's also a Plarium Boardroom Meeting 3 up. You know, check them out, man. I don't know. I'm working hard over here, but check them out. On to the 10x. Let's talk about who's on this list. It's not a bad list. It's pretty good PvP, pretty good arena stuff, but these champs definitely have other uses as well, so let's start with, where's she at? Cardinal, who, as far as looks go, I mean, she's a super cool looking champ. Now, Murder Inc. put up a video this morning, I think, showcasing her. I have not made my way around to the video yet, but I know that he put up a video this morning apparently centered around her. Apparently she's incredible in Arena, and maybe a lot of people have been sleeping on her, so I'm not super familiar, honestly. We're going to look at her skills, and I'm going to give my thoughts on her, but if you want a more in-depth breakdown, I would probably go check out Murder Inc.'s video on her, because, I mean, you know, if you're trying to get analytical with a champion, he's one of the dudes to go talk to, right? So she is a Void Epic. She's got great base stats, very good base speed. Everything on her is going to scale pretty well. She's a support champ. She's got A1 poisons, which is pretty nice. She's got I guess a single target heal and a defense buff. So single target, it's tough with single target support, but it can be done. You can get this down to a 3-turn cooldown too, so that's not really so bad, right? Apothecary has a single target heal as well, and his does not have a defense buff. So his also gets down to 2-turn, if I'm not mistaken. But still, this is not bad at all. A1 poisons. We're seeing a little bit of clan boss potential here. I don't know what the A3 is going to look like, but it seems like there could be something here depending on what you've got at your disposal. And then her A3, you can get down to a 5-turn. Revives all dead allies, heals them by 25% of their max HP, and boost their turn meter to max. Now I see the appeal. I have never, like I said, I've never really come in and looked at her skills before, but that is ridiculous, actually. Yeah, there are a lot of things that can be done with this mechanic right here, with this skill. So, yeah, again, I'm not going to spend a whole bunch of time on her. Murder Inc. put up the video. Go check out his video. But you're probably going to see some interesting stuff in there. That's very cool. I think she's an excellent champ. I'm gonna have to go see if I've got one now, because I guess I must. She's lit up. I must have one. I'm gonna have to build her up and play with her, man. That's pretty interesting. I have not. I've never looked at her before. It's odd. Doom Priest, another fantastic support. I think she gets. There are some people that recognize her utility, but I think overall she kind of gets slept on. If you are a Summoner's War player, I'm going to shout Summoner's War out real quick. There's a Dark Nat 5, which is a legendary here, named Veramos, and he's fusible. And he's basically her, right? There are some differences. He's got a little bit more utility than she does, to be honest, but this passive heals all allies by 7.5% of their HP and removes one random debuff from them at the start of this turn. There's currently nothing in this game you can do about a passive, right? In other games, for Summoner's War, for example, there's a debuff called Oblivion that negates a passive, right? As long as that debuff is up, the passive doesn't work. In this game, there's nothing that can be done about it. So this is really great if you're struggling to get through a dungeon, right? If you're catching too many debuffs, maybe in Dragon or in the waves of any dungeon, this can be really helpful. It can be really nice in Arena. It makes your team a lot harder to lock down because it does not exclude crowd control, right? There's no qualifiers here. It's just one random debuff. So if your whole team catches a stun, when she gets a turn, she's going to cleanse it, okay? So something like a frenzy set, where she gets turn meter for HP lost, would be really effective on her, right? It would help her turn cycle more. Relentless would not be a bad option, you know, getting her fast. But she's killer support. This passive is really nice, and on top of it, it heals a little bit. So on top of that, she's got the attack buff, and then the A1 is whatever, right? The big appeal here is her passive, and then force ally speed, you know, whatever. A little bit of speed's nice, but this passive is huge, right? And I've used it in Clan Boss, right? You make her hit a certain speed, and it's kind of like the Clan Boss is not placing debuffs. She cleanses them immediately, so he might as well not be placing debuffs. Very useful, very good support champ. So another really good option here. Next on the list is what is this dude? Heh, Steel Skull, the OG. He used to be way more popular than he is now. I guess maybe we've got some more options now that we didn't used to have that have kind of pushed this dude back on the list of popularity. By the way, it's a dude. I called Steel Skull a she for a while too, and I still hear a lot of people do it, but it can't be a she with them things out. You know what I mean? It's a dude. Them things is out, okay? But despite the lack of popularity, this is still a fantastic champ, okay? Every turn that Steel Skull takes is impactful, okay? Granted, you do want to have some books for this A1 for it to truly shine, for it to really do its job. I have seen Clan Boss runs where Steel Skull has 12 million plus damage by himself, okay? So he can pump out some damage in the right comp with these A1 poisons, but you do want to get him booked up for that. On top of that, single target cleanse with a huge heal. You can get it down to a 3-turn cooldown, which is pretty handy. Again, killer support pretty much everywhere in the game. And then on the A3, we've got a defense buff on all allies for 2 turns, and heals all allies by 20% of their max HP. Skill ups get it down to 4 turns with a little bit more of a heal. I know I keep looking over here to the left. I'm just going to let you guys into my mind for a second. I don't know why. I am particularly paranoid that I have done something wrong here with my setup, and I feel like this video is not going to record correctly. I would love to be wrong. But I don't know, man. I got the itch. I got the itch like something's wrong. I'd love to be wrong. But anyway, I'm going to keep looking over there, I'm sure. That's what's going on. That's why I keep looking over there, if anybody's curious. Great A3 here. And again, on a 4-turn cooldown, that's pretty nice. You get Masteries on Steel Skull and get the buff extension and all that. Steel Skull's going to keep defense up. Defense up. pretty regularly, right? And again, pretty solid AoE heal, and then a faction crypt lead, whatever. But despite the diminishing popularity of this champ, killer support is at any stage in the game really can be useful. Really easy to build up early game though. I mean, the base stats are just killer. The base speed is nutty. Base attack is decent enough, but you're really just going to be tanking Steel Skull up. Killer champ. Moving on, another one that's not as popular, but I think is pretty cool is Vrask, or as the chosen one would call him, Vrask. Really cool champ. Look at the base HP here. That is just nutty, right? Just nutty for an epic. So he's really cool support. Also, he knocks his own turn meter up when he crits. That's fine. Second skill is just a hit, nothing special about it. But again, where Vrask shines is the passive here. Heals all allies by 10% of his max HP when he inflicts a critical hit, right? So get him tanked up, pure HP, right? Pure HP tanked up, get that crit up, and then get him fast so he's taking turns. Again, Relentless is good if you got it. Frenzy could even be good. He's going to have a lot of HP, so there's a lot of there's a lot of damage to take, a lot of turn meter to be gained, kind of similar in the way that you would build Doom Priest maybe. But this can smack. I mean, you think you get this dude up to 80,000 HP every time he crits, he's healing the team by 8,000. And then Masteries, you can play around and make some things happen there. So if you can get him taking multiple turns per enemy turn, whether it be with turn cycling because of an Apothecary or something like that, he's great support without needing a dedicated healer that's going to take a turn to heal, right? He's going to be outputting damage every turn. He does scale on his own HP, so you shoot that up, you're going to get the crit up anyway because you want the passive to proc. His kit is very complementary to itself, which is nice to see. You don't see that a ton. His multipliers aren't through the roof or anything. He can do okay damage. You would expect more maybe. If you've got 80, 90,000 HP on him, you'd expect him to do more damage than he's doing. But, it is what it is. I guess you can't make him too broken or he'd have to be a legendary. So, on top of that, he's got a defense lead and dungeon. So, really nice support champ. Again, really easy to scale that HP up. Even with mediocre gear, you can get past 80,000 HP relatively easily. Like it's not really hard to scale that up. Decent 5-star gear can get it done. So cool support champ. I like him. I used to use him quite a bit. Let's move on into the legendaries. We'll kick it off with old Raglan. She aka the bane of my existence. If you've ever come across a Raglan Duchess combo in Arena, you probably learned real quick you don't want to fight them unless you've got a very specific thing going. But and we're gonna skip over real quick. It's because of this right here. You can get this down to 2 turns. Revives an ally with 75% HP and a full turn meter on 2 turns. This is the kind of stuff a Void Legendary should be bringing to a fight, right? It's infuriating, and it might be broken to some extent, but she's a Void Legendary, right? This is what they should be doing. So I like her kit a lot, actually. I don't think that she's over the top. I think that's nutty, but again, she's a Void Legendary. There should be something going on that is very different than anything else going on with her, you know what I mean? So great base stats, of course. Her A1 is a 3-hitter, fills a turn meter of 3 random allies by 15%, and allies can only have their turn meter filled once per turn by this skill, so I guess that means it won't hit the same person 2 or 3 times and give them extra turn meter, right? It's only going to do the 15% once per attack she gets. Second skill removes all debuffs on all allies and then heals them. The heal amount is proportional to this champ's attack. Crazy, okay? Probably don't even have to scale her attack too far up. This is still very impactful. It's a full team, full cleanse. There is not a ton of that in this game. You don't really have a lot of that at your disposal. So having her just have that is killer enough. You can also scale the heal up quite a bit. But then this right here, dude, this is, it is really hard. Like, it could just be a Duchess and a Raglan, and it's hard. It's hard to kill them if they're decently built, because Raglan's going to bring Duchess back with a full turn meter and almost full HP on a 2-turn cooldown. You've got to nuke them down so quick. So it's just such a nasty combo, such a nasty pair in Arena. She's a killer champ, killer support champ. Next up is this champ. I'm going to explain this, but this champ might be one of the biggest bummers to me in this game, and I'll explain why. He's fantastic. His kit is fantastic, okay? He's got a great speed lead in dungeons. He's got an AoE A1 with a buff strip on it that by default has a decent chance. Skilled up, it gets much better. He's got an A2 attack buff and crit rate, which is, it's whatever. It is what it is. The crit rate with the attack is pretty nice. And then he's got this A3, right? Removes all debuffs from all allies, then heals all allies and fills their turn meters. The amount which each ally is healed increases according to the number of debuffs removed, and the turn meter increases according to the number of debuffs removed. And you can get that down to a 5-turn cooldown. Now, I just said we don't have a lot of full cleanse at our disposal, right? His AI is a little bit wonky if you're trying to use him on auto. He really wants to prioritize this over this, and it seems to not even be super dependent on the situation, right? I had an arena defense build that had him on a frenzy set, and the way it was set up was we were supposed to take the first hit, catch any damage, catch any debuffs, whatever. The frenzy set would give him a turn. In a perfect world, he uses his A3 and he cleanses all the debuffs, he heals us up, he gives us turn meter, we retaliate, right? It was kind of like a counter defense. And I was running that for a little bit, and then 3v3 arena came out, so I started using them on offense, and I run auto, and I realized he's not using his A3. Even if we get hit first, even if we catch a bunch of debuffs, he's still buffing the team. So it's a big bummer for me, because I would use this dude so much more if his AI worked properly. But it does not, so I've kind of had to bench him for now. But it doesn't change the fact that his kit is fantastic. So if you wanted to use him manually, I like to try to run everything on auto for the most part. If you're using him manually, he can be fantastic, and there's a lot of different ways you can use him. He would be great support in like a dragon team where you're going to catch a lot of debuffs at the boss. Again, with the great speed lead, he's got good buffs to help you get damage output in the waves. Great champ, great kit. AI leaves some things to be desired, so keep that in mind with Scartorsus. Let's see, we've got 2 more to go over. Oh, she's a banner lord, that's right. Where you at? You. Now, she got buffed a while back, and her utility went up quite a bit. I've seen some interesting things done with her in Clan Boss, but again, she's another one I have not dove into. She's one I haven't dove into much yet. So let's take a look at her. Base stats are great across the board. She has an HP burn on the first skill, which is pretty nice. She's got removes all debuffs from a target ally and then places block debuffs for 2 turns and heals that ally. So that's, in most cases, going to just be a full heal, right? And basically a full heal. Heals all other allies by 20% of their max HP and fills their turn meters by 15% if the target is fully healed. So there you go. In most cases, I would say you're going to be able to get that full heal proc and get the turn meter boost. So that's a killer little A2, especially on a 2-turn cooldown skilled up. That's pretty crazy. That's Apothecary's heal. Yeah, that's Apothecary's heal with a buff, and then in a lot of instances, an AoE heal and turn meter boost, all in one skill on a 2-turn cooldown. That's pretty nasty. A3 has a 75% chance of removing all buffs from all enemies, then decreases the turn meters of all enemies by 10% and fills the turn meters. Okay, decreases turn meters of all enemies by 20% and 20% if 5 or more buffs were removed. Okay. So, if the whole team has a buff and someone else has an extra buff, that's pretty sick, right? That's 40% between the teams. So, not bad. And you can get that down to 3 turns, man. Her cooldowns are crazy. 2 and 3 turns on her A2 and A3. That's nice. And then the magic ally resistance, you know, okay, great. Still killer. Still pretty good support there. And then last but not least, one you're probably all relatively familiar with already is Warlord. Very popular support champ, and rightfully so. He's pretty sick, man. He's got the debuff extension, which makes him very useful in clan boss. He's got the shield and block debuffs with the heal. Lot going on in that A2. You can get that down to a 3-turn cooldown too. Shield equal to 30% of his max HP. 2 turns. 25% heal. Block debuffs on all allies for 1 turn. Get the buff extension in the Masteries. That could be 2 turns. You can get that down to a 3-turn cooldown. It only needs 1 book. He does not need a ton of books compared to some of the other ones. A3 is attacks all enemies. 70% chance of putting each target's skills on cooldown. Has a 30% chance to deplete each target's turn meter. Wow. He's crazy. 5-turn cooldown. So he's, like I said, he's got utility pretty much everywhere, right? This right here is crazy. The A1 gives him a lot of clan boss utility for the debuff extension, as well as this great support here. This obviously isn't going to do much in clan boss, but A1 and A2 are great. And then in arena, you know, again, pretty nasty. Ally resist by 50 in all battles. And as you get up higher in arena, you start to realize that resistance is more a part of the meta than you might have realized. So there are a lot of people running resistance leads in even like mid gold now. You're seeing a lot of resistance leads, mid and low gold, and hell, at this point probably in bronze, you're seeing a lot of resistance lead. Hopefully they get that fixed this week. There's supposedly an update coming in a day or two that's gonna sort some of that out for us. We'll see. Fantastic champ. It's not a bad lineup for a 10x. You know, I always say, I don't think I said at the beginning of this one, but I generally say, you know, I'm not a big fan of 10x because your base rates are still the same. You've still got to get incredibly lucky. And my experience with the last 10x was I really wanted Alton. I had 15 shards, and on the third shard in, I got my 3rd Scar Torsus instead of an Alton during a 10x where Alton was one of the legendaries. So, you know, just because you pull a legendary doesn't mean you're guaranteed to get some money on the list anyway. But if you got some shards burning a hole and you don't want to save for a 2x and there's something in this 10x that appeals, it is certainly not a bad lineup. There are definitely some game-changing champs in here. So, you know, take this information. Hopefully you got something out of this, learned something about a champ you didn't know. Maybe I helped you make a decision one way or the other. I don't know, man. Just doing what I can. So again, to participate in the giveaway, all the details at the beginning of the video. Let me know below if you're participating, who you're trying to get. Leave your UM code in the comment. 5 of you will be getting drawn Thursday morning. And then the other 5 winners are going to be drawn in Friday morning's stream at twitch.tv/JGigs, 10 a.m. Eastern. We good? I think we covered everything we need to cover here. Appreciate you guys watching. Like the video, subscribe, all the stuff. You know how it goes. I'm done rambling. Appreciate you guys. I'll see you later. 10x Unlimited. It's so dumb.